Welcome to logi.DOC, the VGB R170C Universal Block Diagram Editor. In this presentation I would like to show you the creation of a block, and the block interface will be designed with a DXF file. At first I would like to show you an example that you see what we want to do in this presentation. I open this ACM_DXF block. You see, this ACM_DXF block has inputs at the top, it has outputs at the bottom, and it has two inputs on the left side. Additionally, you see some names for the inputs and some names for the output, and here you see this is the size. We have 19 grid points at the top level and 3 grid points on the left and right margin. If you want to create this new block, at first you have to define and you have to create a new block. Therefore you go to New Object and you select a new function block type, and the language, the FBD language, will be used to create the internal logic, and of course we need to create a new name. And we say OK. Now this block will be created in our library. Afterwards we can open this block with a double click. And again, here you see the interface, and what we have to do is we can extend the size for this interface to 16 or 19 up to 3 grid points for the connection. So you see we have 19,3. That means we have 19 connection points over here and 3 connection points at the left and right margin. The easiest way to get a lot of var inputs and a lot of var outputs to describe input and output variables inside of one block is you create an ASCII file like this. If you need more information about the creation of such kind of ASCII files, please take a look into the logi.DOC online help. This ASCII file could be directly imported into a block. Therefore you call from this level, you call the import function. And this import function asks for a file name, and when you put the right file name inside of this line, then you can import the data. Here you see that the data are imported, and I zoomed to the interface by the use of this zoom button. Again, we have to switch to the alternate IO names, and you see the interface is now empty. In the next step we have to import the DXF file. This DXF file could be imported over the properties, and we have to select DXF format, and we have to look for the right file. So you see I selected the right DXF file and I say open, and you see the system will insert the DXF graphic. You can set this to adjust that it's directly connected, and afterwards you can go to the representation and you have to hide the POU background. And now you see in the background the graphic is fully organized. You can say OK, and very important is when you want to use this block independent from the saving point of this DXF file, very important is you have to save the DXF file into the POU like this. And now you see OK, and with this OK function this block is available, and of course you can save it, and now you can use this block everywhere in your project. In the next step I would like to give you some information about the DXF file. Therefore I opened this DXF file ACM.DXF with a very simple DXF editor which is called AutoSketch. Here you see this is the DXF file. Most important point is you need a grid, and this grid has some special parameters for the usage in logi.DOC. So you see, when you create a DXF file for logi.DOC interfaces, please define a grid inside of AutoSketch or inside of AutoCAD or other DXF tools, and the DXF grid needs to be 2.208 millimeters. This makes the creation of a DXF file very simple, and over the grid you see now this is exactly also one connecting point inside of logi.DOC, inside of the logi.DOC function blocks. You need to save this DXF files as DXF release 12, and additionally, very important is, there needs to be no grouped graphical informations in it. logi.DOC will not modify any text styles and will not modify any properties of lines, so the graphic will be inserted into the FBD completely independent from the DXF tool. Here you can see a last full view to this DXF file. If you have any questions to the creation of such kind of DXF files and the usage inside of logi.DOC function blocks, please call us. We will help you.